real chance.
European Union members have been locked in negotiations since the idea of cutting gas use was suggested last week. They have now agreed to a voluntary cut of 15% between August and March. However, documents seen by the BBC suggest the deal has been watered down, with countries able to have exemptions. The EU said the aim was to make savings ahead of winter, warning that Russia was continuously using energy supplies as a weapon. The voluntary deal would become mandatory if supplies reach crisis levels. However, the EU said some countries not connected to the EU's gas pipelines, such as Ireland, Malta, and Cyprus, would be exempted from any mandatory gas reduction order, as they would not be able to source alternative supplies. Elsewhere, the Baltic nations, which are not hooked up to the European electricity system and are heavily reliant on gas for electricity production, are also exempted from compulsory targets in order to avoid the risk of an electricity supply crisis. Kherson city fell to Russia early in the war and sits on a strategic location west of the Dnipro River. On Saturday, UK defense officials reported heavy fighting near Kherson. The Ukrainian advance meant that Russian supply lines west of the river were increasingly at risk, according to their assessment. Earlier this month, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk urged Kherson residents to evacuate the city as soon as possible to avoid becoming trapped in the city during a counter-offensive in southern Ukraine. Kyiv's forces have been targeting river crossings in the region in an effort to stretch Russia's supply lines. On Saturday, an artillery strike hit the Darovsky Bridge across the Inhulets River, and on Tuesday, they targeted the Antonivishky Bridge with US-supplied artillery. Speaking to the state-backed TASS news agency, the deputy head of the Russian-backed administration in Kherson admitted that if the strikes continued, the bridge could collapse.